we haven't really seen pullbacks. We've seen some slight pullbacks, but look at this chart. Can you see any real pullbacks here? I can't. And so I'm cautioning you guys that I think we're going to get into the territory where we're going to get a pullback. Does that mean that it's the end of the bull market? No. It's just a healthy correction in a bull market. But the correction could last a week, a day, a month, maybe even longer. In fact, I think because we're in a bull market, the correction won't be very long, but I think it may be very quick. And I think that some of these altcoins, the more speculative ones, may go down as much as 50%. I don't know if it's going to happen now. I don't know if it's going to happen in a week. I don't know if it's going to happen in a month. But I can tell you one thing. It is going to happen. And I want you guys, my community, to be prepared. I want you guys to have profits and to take those profits and to keep those profits. Blood on the streets. The market is dumping. It's brutal out there. But do you see Michael Saylor sweating? Do you see Elon sweating? Do I look like I'm sweating? Fred, lose the slide. Do I look like someone who is sweating, someone who is worried about this market? No. You know why Elon's not sweating? Because he's too busy in a Twitter war with Peter Schiff. Did you guys see this little tweet where Peter Schiff, what is this guy still doing on Twitter? He says, 2 weeks after Elon Musk announced that he spent $1.5 billion of shareholder money buying Bitcoin, Tesla entered a bear market, plunging 20% from its all-time highs on 25th January, and 16% after disclosing that he bought Bitcoin. Not an example other CEOs would like to follow. Peter, your fund is down on cash in the last 10 years. Gold hasn't moved up in the last couple of months. In fact, it has only moved down. And at the same time, Bitcoin has 10x itself, 100x itself, depending on the time frame. Fred, call up that tweet again. Because the classic part of that tweet is actually Elon Musk's response to that tweet, where he responds with an eggplant. And then CZ climbs in and CZ says, when paired with the mouth emoji, it means oral sex. When paired with a peach emoji, it means anal, or I'm not going to say it in case YouTube takes away my video. The eggplant emoji has become associated with the penis, and that people would use the word eggplant is a euphemism for the word penis. Classic response by Elon Musk. Who the hell is Peter Schiff to talk when he hasn't done one thing right in the last 10 years? In fact, he's lost money in the last 10 years. There's a criminal investigation against him for money laundering. Guys, if you have been watching our show, this correction shouldn't shock you. Remember last week I said to you, my cashometer is on 35%. It's the high. The cashometer doesn't get higher than 35% unless we're exiting crypto. I told you that there's going to be a correction. The good news is that now I'm telling you that the correction's over. So whereas the correction started yesterday, I think it's over now. And the question is, are we buying anything and what are we buying? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how to trade this crypto correction. And again, guys, I saw and I told you that this correction was coming last week. So now I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing, what I'm buying. And all you have to do is just sit and watch and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And then what did send the price up today? Well, that was the settlement between USDT or Tether and Bitfinex and the New York Attorney General. So that's now history. And that FUD has gone and that's out of the way. But there is some other FUD. And that is Janet. Salty Janet Yellen. This time she came out and said that Bitcoin is highly speculative and inefficient. Inefficient. If you're calling Bitcoin inefficient, it means that either you don't understand Bitcoin or you don't understand the US banking system. But let me tell you that in terms of final settlement and clearing, Bitcoin is much more efficient than any banking system in the world. Speculative? Yeah, well, all early stage assets are speculative. But so far, having held Bitcoin or holding Bitcoin would have been the best strategy in the world. And today we're going to talk about Janet Yellen's comments. And guys, I don't know how I'm going to put up with her for the next 4 years. Every time that she speaks, I'm going to cringe. for the next 4 years, we're going to have to put up with this ignorant person who doesn't look at the stats. I mean, you remember that the last time she said that Bitcoin is used for illicit activities. This is a country that use Chainalysis. They pay Chainalysis for information, and Chainalysis said that the numbers are actually down at lows. And then, guys, we have an altcoin insider for you guys today. I've got Bob Young, and he's the founder of CoinGecko. What an amazing story CoinGecko's got. So excited to have him on the show today. And he's like a real altcoin insider because he knows everything before it happens. And he's going to give us some jewels and give us the trends about what's going on today. And then remember yesterday, Superfarm launch. Even in this terrible market, Superfarm still gave us a 100x launch. Guys, watch this one because you can pick this one up at around $1, and it has been hovering between $1 and $1.50. But if you can pick it up at around $1, it may not be bad value here. So keep watching that one. I think that one can go easily to $5 in the bull market. It is by far, for me, the best NFT play. And I know what's happening. I know some of the partnerships that are being signed and stuff like that. And I can tell you that if you do manage to pick up Superfarm now in this dip, that may be a big one. We're also going to be talking about a whole lot of other ones that you could be buying in the dip. And then, guys, big news. Tomorrow, live on the show, Commissioner Hester Peirce. Remember I said that there's one thing that can send the Bitcoin price to $250,000 this year in 2021? Oh, that one thing is a Bitcoin ETF. And tomorrow, we have got Commissioner Hester Peirce live on CryptoBanter. Guys, is there any other channel that brings you such high-profile guests, one after the other? Yesterday, we had Tim Draper. Today, Bobby Ong. We've had CZ. We've had Michael Saylor. We're going to get Elon Musk on the show as well. There is no other station that brings you this amount of content and this amount of big-name guests to spread the crypto love. And then, talking about crypto love, if you love the chains that you support, today I'm going to teach you how you can make insane returns. And all you do is support the chains that you love. Promote the chains that you love. And speaking of things that you love, I'm Crypto Man Run, and I come to you every single day at 10 a.m. EST. And I bring you crypto love, and I bring you crypto wisdom because I've been here for a long time, and sometimes my calls work. Sometimes I tell you about things before they happen, and my community makes a lot of money. And all I need you guys to do is hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and hit that bell. In amazing news, most of the people watching this video are now subscribers. If you are watching this video for the first time, hit the subscribe and hit the bell, because if you don't hit the bell, you don't know when I'm coming to you. And I'm going to be coming to you with crypto love at crazy times. Every time something happens on this market, and a lot is happening on this market, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to bring you the crypto love. All you need to do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, because when you do that, the YouTube algorithm spreads this content far and wide and brings more people into crypto. And effectively, what it does is it just pumps our bags. So, Fred, how are we doing on the likes? How are we doing on the likes? There's 1,350 people in the chat. What it does is it just 400 likes. Pumps up. Guys, we need more likes, more likes, guys. And then we're going to get on with the show. And today I'm going to give you my trading strategy. I'm going to show you how I am trading this altcoin correction. Guys, we need more likes. I'm going to show you how I'm trading this altcoin correction. But what I need from you is more likes. There are 400 likes. Let's get to 600 likes and we can get on with the show. Guys, I'm giving you at least 10 altcoins today that you can be buying. But I need likes. That's it. 500. There we go. We're getting there. Come on, guys. Come on. You can do it. Fred, let me know when you think we should start the show. All right, let's start the show, man. Let's get on with this. I'll make a lot of money, but that comes with a big warning. You know what my warning is all about, right? My warning is all about my cash-o-meter, and my cash-o-meter is still sitting on 35% in cash. That should be a warning sign to you guys. If 35% of my cash of my portfolio is in cash, that is a huge warning sign for you guys. I mean, 35% cash. So if you're out there, take profits and trade well, my friends. That's exactly what I said to you last week. I said to you a few times last week. If you're out there, put 35% of your portfolio in cash. And I'm not really worried because I know that you all listen to me. And even though this correction is absolutely brutal, I know that you guys were all in 35% cash. And I told you this correction was coming. And why did I tell you? Because I looked at the 2017 chart. Fred, pull up the 2017 chart. Do you remember the 2017 chart. We went parabolic just like we are going now, but we had multiple corrections, and all the corrections were over 30%. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corrections over 30%. And remember what I said to you guys last week. I said to you guys last week that we're going to get a correction of about 30%. And then what's going to happen is we're going to go up another 100, 150%. So, Fred, let's look at the Bitcoin chart. Show us the Bitcoin chart. I called for a 30% correction in Bitcoin. We saw about a 22. This chart's a little bit outdated. So we saw about a 25% correction in Bitcoin. The good news is that I think we have seen the worst of the blood. I think the level of 44.9 or 44.8 was the worst of the blood. And Fred, call up the altcoin chart, because what I said was, I said that even though Bitcoin was going to go down 30%, I think alt should go down about 40 or 50%. And some alts did go down 40 or 50%, but the altcoin market's down about 35% now as we speak. So for me, the worst of this correction is over. But then again, who am I? Let's get Matty Greenspan on, and let's see what Matty says about this correction and whether this correction is over. Matty, is this correction over?
What's up, man?
All good, man.
Yeah, so, well, it depends, I guess, what you're looking at, really. For Ethereum from the top so far, we've seen about a 33% correction. And
We've got a lot of background noise. We've got a lot of background noise.
Sorry, hold up.
Oh, Matty's obviously working from home, got the kids there. Okay, let's go. Matty, let's get you back. I know you put yourself on mute. I'm going to unmute you. All right, so Matty, is this correction over? When you look at the charts, what are you saying?
So I was actually fortunate enough to get out pretty much at the top last night. If you'll see my eToro account, I reduced a lot of my exposure just before this crash. I did try to buy the dip a little bit, but at the moment, I mean, you said you're 35% cash. I would say that my cash level is probably a bit more significant than that right now. Let's say allocation. I've got 37% on the markets and 62% in cash. So I'm thinking that we do have a little bit more to fall around here. Of course, if we take a look at, let's say, a classic 30% correction on Bitcoin would bring us down to 40K.
Well, 40K, I mean, if you look at the high of Bitcoin, the high of Bitcoin was about 58,000. So if you're looking at a 30% correction from 58,000, you're looking at about a $17,000 correction, so about $41,000. So you think another leg down.
So let's not forget that this entire leg up was Elon Musk and the Tesla announcement, right? So Elon was buying around 33K. He was using one of those algorithms that buys on the dip. So he did not, I would say that if Tesla wasn't out buying exactly at that time, which is right around here on the charts, then, you know, we probably would have seen a leg further down from there. But of course, Tesla didn't allow it to come down. They were sitting there buying every single dip. And then once the news came out that Tesla had bought, that's when we saw this huge kind of blow off top happening. So I believe that, 40K, 35, 40K for Bitcoin. I think that that's probably something that's not too far. It wouldn't be too greedy to ask for. On Ethereum, on the other hand, I mean, this price correction is way deep. And of course, this was exacerbated by what happened at Kraken yesterday, where they had a flash crash over there. It seems that somebody probably could be one person or we don't know who took out the entire order book with a few trades. And obviously, they have a lot of people on margin. So things got ugly. People got liquidated and everything like that. So if we're just looking,
I want to talk about that for 1 second. So what happened yesterday on Kraken is a classic scenario. What happens when the market dips, and that is that somebody puts in an order that's too big, either through a finger slip or something, and instead of selling 100, they try and sell 1,000 ETH. And if they do that, what effectively happens is they take out the entire order book. And so yesterday we saw this candle. It went down to $750 on Ethereum.
I see.
What does that mean for the community? For the community, it means something very simple. It means that if you are trading and you do believe in things like Ethereum, if you put a crazy order in, say you had an order in at $1,000, and that happens by mistake, your order gets filled, which means that you instantaneously make money. So I'm a big believer in this kind of strategy. If you believe in ETH or Cardano or Polkadot or Bitcoin, put in some crazy orders. The worst thing is that they won't get hit. But in a better case, what happens is these orders do get hit, and you've got yourself some cheap Ethereum, like all the people on Kraken yesterday, who got Ethereum at up to $700. And so that for me in crypto is a big trade. Because the market isn't so, Matty, what do you think of the direction of Ethereum? Where's the right price level to be buying in?
So I think we might have just hit it. I mean, on my charts at least, we've got a nice upward trending channel over here, and we're now at the very lows of that upward trending channel. The thing that you got to watch out for, though, is a lot of FUD surrounding Ethereum. As we know, as it stands, Ethereum is in a market dominant position where 90% of all new coins are being built on top of Ethereum. However, as we get further into this bull market, and people get a little bit crazy with their altcoins and everything like that, and go people going, oh, the next Ethereum this, the next Ethereum that, and they start to to perceive Ethereum as having a smaller market share. And start to go a little bit crazy on some of the other ones that don't have as much usage at the moment. And that kind of FUD can materialize in a very real way, where others, and manifest in this type of price pullback as we're seeing today. A friend of mine came up to me, was, it's always fun to have, friends who are newly introduced into crypto. And this guy in particular, I remember he's everything that epitomizes the new retail traders in the market and the Wall Street bets and everything like that. And he's going, telling me how much the Fed has printed over the last year, of course. And he asked me, should I buy Ethereum? And I said, you know what? And this was last week. I said, you know what? Unless you're going to use it, what for? Right? If you're buying, these altcoins, buy them for the purpose that you're going to use them. Otherwise, you really don't know what it is that you're paying for. The only reason these things have value to begin with is that there's a market, that there's a use case. And if all you're doing is speculating, you might as well just do that on Bitcoin.
Yeah, you may as well. Oh, yeah, I suppose so. I suppose for the newbies, if you don't know what you're buying, and that's the problem. That's one of the structural problems in this market, is that people were just buying and expecting money to go. Marty, we do have a lot of background.
Run of the 100 top coins by market cap over the last 3 months, as of 2 days ago when I ran the numbers, all 100, with the exception of a few stable coins and maybe one or two, I think BSV, they've all doubled in the last 3 months. These are unrealistic gains. It's just the market that's overfloated.
It is. The market is overheated. It's exactly what I said last week, and when I did my market synopsis, I said this market's overheated, and that's why I called for a correction. I said people are just calling for a correction. People are just buying things, not knowing what they do, expecting them to go up. The market is going up, and that's exactly what's happening. Matty, we do have a lot of background noise, so I'm going to let you go. We'll chat to you again soon. So much love for you, my friend. Always.
See you, man.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, so let's carry on with the show. Sorry about the noise issues on Matty, but he did agree at very late notice to come on the show, and we love Matty. He's always just so full of value. But let's talk a little bit about what he said. I warned you guys last week. I said to you guys that the reason why I think the market's going to collapse is because I think that there were too many new hands coming into the market. And they came into the market entitled to make money, not knowing even what their coins do. That's the crazy part. It's that you buy things. You say, the guy says to you, look, I bought BSV, I bought Binance. I said to him, cool, why did you buy it? What does it do? I don't know. Or I think I mentioned to you last week that somebody here in the cafeteria here said to me that they asked me about Akash Network. And I was like, it's a great buy, but can you tell me what it does? And they said, I don't know. I've just been told that I should buy it. When that happens, you know that there's dumb money in the market. And when there's dumb money in the market, the problem is that you know that the market is going to crash. And that's why when it happened, when I started getting all the warning signs, I said to you guys that I'm in the most cash that I've ever been on crypto. I never go over 35% in cash. And I was at 35% in cash, and that should be a big warning sign for you guys. But now we've had a correction. And I think for the most part, we've seen the worst of it. And if we haven't seen the worst of it, we're going to get one more leg down, potentially. But we are by no means out of bull market territory. And I think that we're still in a raging bull market. But I think this was a healthy correction. And how we're going to gauge whether this is a healthy correction or whether we're going into a bear market is how quickly this market recovers from the correction. You can already see that the bounces have been quite aggressive. When Bitcoin went to 45,000 or 46,000, it bounced very quickly. And in bull markets, when you have a correction, one of the characteristics that you look for is how quickly the market recovers. So if I'm not live on air and you want to know whether it's time to buy, look for the panic. Look for when people are offloading, like today when they're offloaded at $46,000, and then look how quickly the market recovers. And if the market recovers quickly, that's a sign that we're still in a bull market. And I think that we're very much still in a bull market. In fact, I think we haven't started, but I do think some things got overheated. Now, if you've been watching the show, you know that I've told you a few things. Fred, call up that HODL portfolio of ours. So we have this HODL portfolio, and I've said to you guys many times, always HODL and keep accumulating Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, and cash. And I also said Chainlink is a good one to keep accumulating, and I also said that Cardano is a great one to keep accumulating. Keep accumulating these tokens, especially now, especially now, you want to keep accumulating these ones. You want to keep accumulating. I also told you guys to be 35% in cash. And today we're starting to deploy the cash because we've had the correction. And so I'm no longer 35% in cash. I also said a few other things to you guys. I said you should have a 10x portfolio. Fred, call up that 10x portfolio. These are our 10x coins. We're going to talk about these 10x coins in a few seconds. I said to you guys, if you're going to buy anything, buy things that you have done research on. Buy things that will survive a correction. Buy tokens that are getting the network effect and will survive a correction. Let's look at our portfolio. In this dip, are you worried about Luna? Fred, call up that Luna chart. Are you worried about the king of payments, the one that has more payments than anything else? Let's call up the correction part first before we look at the zoom out. So Luna is 35% down from its high. It went to 840. It then went down to 540. It is down 35% from the high. I'm not worried. This is the king of payments. They haven't even started yet. They're getting the network effect like anything else. Zoom out. Let's look at when we made this call. We made this call when Luna was at 50 cents, under 50 cents. So, okay. We've had a 30% correction, but we've made 13x on our money and we're holding a good token. If you apply our fundamentals, guys, you're not going to lose money. Fred, let's call up that 10x chart again. Let's look at Arweave on that 10x chart. Arweave. You worried about Arweave? Okay, it's had a correction. It went down from $8 to $6. It's had a 25% correction. You worried about it? It's getting real world adoption every single day. It hasn't even started. It's getting the network effect. We told you to buy Arweave at $2.50. In fact, I bought Arweave in 2017, but I told you guys when we started the show at $2.50. Okay, so we've had a correction, but you're still 2.4x up. Let's get into the ones that are a little bit more exciting. Let's get into Elrond. Elrond has had a huge correction. It's down 53%. This is a great buying opportunity. Because if you believe in Elrond and you believe in the future of smart contract blockchains and you believe in the network effect and the power of community, you can now buy Elrond at a 53% discount. Today, let's just zoom out. Fred, when we called this one, we called Elrond at under $10. So even after a 50% correction, if you would have just held, you are still 10x up. And that's exactly what I'm saying to you guys. If you hold things, that have the network effect, if you hold fundamental tokens, then you've got nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about. Keep buying the 10x value tokens. Just keep buying them and keep buying them. This is a chance for you to accumulate. Fred, let's call up that chart again. Let's call up the chart of the 10x tokens. So let's get the chart. Let's look at the ones that we think you can keep buying with less risk. FTX, Cardano, Elrond, Celsius, The Graph, Yearn Finance, Chainlink, Luna, Matic, Aave. If you can get a buying opportunity on these tokens, you take it with both hands. And that's exactly the strategy that I want to share with you guys today. Because I said to you guys that I have started to deploy some of my cash. And in fact, if you look at the cash meter today, the cash meter today is actually at 28%, which means that I've already deployed about 7%. Actually, I deployed about 10% of the cash today. Ironically, I bought some more super farm at about $1.06 because I think that if you can get it anywhere near $1, it's a great buy. What I suggest you guys do now is you look at the tokens that you fundamentally believe in. The ones that are definitely going to get the network effects. The ones that you missed out on the way up. And you set yourself a price target. And you say, if it hits that price, you put it in order and you buy those tokens. So I've started doing that. Today, I saw some great opportunities and I took them. I saw Elrond. I saw Elrond at a market cap of 1.8. In fact, I want to call this Elrond up and I want to show you this trade. And I want to show you why it is that I bought Elrond. So, of course, I'm a big believer in Elrond, in what they do, in their technology, and in the network effects that they're starting to achieve. Big believer. So if I'm a big believer, and I believe that they're getting network effects, then I've got to put my money where my mouth is, and I've got to buy this if we can buy it on a correction. So let me show you guys what the trade was here today. And I think that there is still a big trade to be had here. Let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, so we have the Elrond chart, which I believe that you guys can see. So Elrond's trading at $109. Just last week, Elrond was trading at $200, above $200. For me, when I look at Elrond, and I look at Elrond at a 50% discount, at a market cap of 1.8 billion, when I compare it to the other smart contract blockchains out there, i.e. Cardano, i.e. Polkadot, i.e. Ethereum, I say, hold on. This may be a good opportunity for me to start buying Elrond at a discount. Let's look at some of the others that I bought today, where I deployed some of my capital. I'll show you. Remember, I called Pickle Finance. I called it initially at about $10, and it since went to about $30. And it's come down a long way. In fact, I managed to pick up some earlier today at about 13 or 13.50. But this, again, may be a good one to be buying because fundamentally, they've got a high total value locked, smart development team, protocol keeps working, and now it's at a huge discount. If you look at the discount to the high in the last 30 days, let's look at it. It was trading at $33, and now it's trading at $15 or $14. For me, I know this protocol. I've done the homework, and at $14, I'm not expecting it to 10x, but it is one of the ones that I'm trying to get value in. Another one in the DeFi space that I've bought, again, fundamentally, these are not speculative, highly speculative, like the 100Xs. Harvest Finance. Remember, I called this one. It went to $350. In fact, just in the last 24 hours, it was trading at $330, and it went down to $218. I picked up at about $225. Okay, that for me is a good buy. So what I suggest that you guys do is I suggest you go to CoinGecko, and I suggest that you look for the tokens that you believe in, that you wanted to get into, the ones that actually have network effect. Set yourself a price and start buying on the way down. Remember, this is the time when we are actually deploying that cash. Remember, we're starting to deploy all the cash that we had, the 35% cash. We're starting to deploy that. I haven't started buying Cardano. I haven't started buying DOT. I haven't started buying any of those because I just don't think that they're cheap enough. I haven't started buying Luna yet because I've got a big bag of Luna and I don't want to increase my holdings because my entry price in Luna was around 50 cents. And so start looking for the big dips. look for the altcoins that you like, that you've done the research on, and look if they have a big dip. What I'm going to do is, if you are part of our Telegram community, I'm going to tell you on the Telegram community when I'm buying and what I'm buying. I wish I could broadcast for you guys 24 hours a day, but it's just a little bit impossible. I wish I could, though, in this bear market, because there is so much going on. And I do want you guys to share the same trades that I do. So if you're not part of our Telegram group, hit that Telegram group, and I'll be bringing you live real-time information of when I'm actually making trades. And if you are part of the group, you know that I posted on the weekend that I bought sashimi, and we made 100% on sashimi. We made 80% on sashimi over the weekend. So join the Telegram group, because a lot's going on there, and it's an unpaid Telegram group. It's not like I'm asking you for money. In fact, everything that I do for this community, as you can see, is unfunded. There's not a single sponsor on this stream yet. There's not a single referral link at the bottom here. There's not a single sponsor on our website, because for now, we don't need the advertising money. And we want to make sure that you guys know that whenever we talk about a token, like all the tokens that I've spoken about today, I'm doing it because I'm actually buying the tokens and I believe in the tokens, and not like some other YouTubers because I'm being paid to do that. So guys, I hope you follow the strategy. Let me know in the comments what you think of the strategy. And if you are buying, let me know what you are buying. Let me know. Or if you want to buy, comment here. Tell me what you want to buy, and I'll tell you whether I think it's the right time or not the right time to buy. We are going to talk about TFT. I think that there are some comments about TFT and some of our other calls. But first, I want to get on one of the most exciting guests in the space. And that is, of course, Bobby Ong. And he's the founder of CoinGecko. Bobby, welcome to CryptoBanter.com. I think this is your first time on CryptoBanter.
That's right. It's my first time on CryptoBanter. Very excited to be on the show.
I love CoinGecko. For me, if without CoinGecko, I don't know what I would do. I don't know where I'd get the contract codes for all the amazing DeFi tokens that I farm, or all the amazing Uniswap tokens that I trade. If there was no CoinGecko, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm dying for you to share your story with the audience, to tell us how you guys came up with this idea and how you guys actually launched CoinGecko.
Yeah, most definitely. Pleasure to, and very happy to share my story. So yeah, long story short, we've been running CoinGecko. We launched CoinGecko close to 7 years ago, actually, April 2014. And I first got into the Bitcoin space in 2013. And I thought this was kind of truly revolutionary, game-changing, all the big words, right? And kind of saw how the internet changed the world in the early 2000s, where, I mean, you think about it, like, who would have thought that every single one of us would be carrying a supercomputer on our palms, and we can, call a random drivers to pick us up to go wherever we want, which is Uber, or stay in some random apartment, someone random's apartment, Airbnb. In this day and age, like, that was completely unthinkable 20 years ago, and here we are. So when I found out about Bitcoin and blockchain technology, I knew I didn't want to, miss this next big wave, and I thought that I want to do something in the space, and I thought really hard and was finding for a way to kind of get involved. And believe it or not, websites in the crypto space were really badly designed back in 2013. It was so badly designed that my co-founder and I said that we probably can do a better job tracking all these different altcoins. And we wanted some other data that was not served in the marketplace. So we kind of put together CoinGecko with tracking developer stats, social media stats. And these days we're kind of innovating and tracking all kind of stats that a lot of people don't do, and kind of put together a website. And fast forward 7 years, we now track over 6,000 coins from 400 different exchanges. We are always one of the fastest mover in the space, adding coins, adding tokens, adding exchanges, all the DEX. Things are moving so fast. So yeah, pretty much in the thick of things, growing CoinGecko.
Amazing. What an amazing story. Bobby, tell me, you must have seen a big change in the last 6 to 12 months. You're very, very close to the action. Tell us what you're seeing on the ground. What are the trends on the ground? And then tell me how that relates to your personal investment strategy.
Yeah, I was listening to your show before this, and I really love the advice that you give about, buying the dips and all. And what Marty said was also true. I think there's blood on the street yet, but maybe some people seem to think that we've reached the bottom for this time, but potentially there may be one last dip to around 40K Bitcoin. And I always, similar to Marty, I always said similar to you, I always said like a 30% dip. So what I do is I look at the all-time high, especially during a bull market, right? I look at all-time high or at least a weekly high, and I take a 30% difference from the peak, and that's where I set my buy orders. And when it hits 30%, like, okay, I hope it gets filled, then I collect my bags and all. So that's kind of what we see. In the last 12 months, I would say, things have been getting very exuberant. A lot of it has been driven by institutions buying up Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is a big player, buying up a lot of Bitcoin, over $1 billion worth. I really respect these billionaires. Like putting $1 billion, even though you're a billionaire, into Bitcoin it's not something to be laughed at. Elon Musk buying $1.5 billion was kind of the big catalyst that kind of moved everything up in the past few weeks. So yeah, there's a lot of institutional growth. I'm seeing a lot of retail money coming in. On CoinGecko, I was doing some stats comparison, and all. We saw a 10x growth in traffic from January 2020 to January 2021. So the retail guys are in now for sure, and we've hit more traffic compared to what we used to get during the peak of January 2018, the previous peak. So a lot of new money coming in, a lot of, you said, dumb money coming in as well. People coming in, do not knowing what exactly they're doing, just buying for the sake of buying and thinking that it will go up forever. So those are definitely signs of correction, as I would say.
Now, let me ask you a question. In terms of hits on a site similar to yours, are you the biggest in the market, or is Coinmarketcap still bigger than you guys?
Yeah, Coinmarketcap is still bigger than us at this point in time. If you look at the stats for the past 12, 24 months, they used to be like, for example, 6, 7, 8 times larger than us. And now we've closed the gap significantly. And now they are probably 1.5 times larger than us, slightly. Still a lot of retail normies go to them. But like, I think everyone who's serious in crypto, who trades crypto, who checks cryptos, seriously have all moved on to CoinGecko these days.
Yeah, you have to use the Gecko, because otherwise you don't get the contract codes. You don't know where the DeFi pools are. You don't have the DeFi indices. So I must say, for me, the CoinGecko is really like a Bible almost, where I go to it every day whenever I need the information, wherever I need contract codes. That's where I go as the go-to place. Talk to me about, in terms of financial websites in the world, where do crypto websites actually rank today?
That's a good question, actually. I know it's been catching up. CoinGecko, I checked a few days ago. I think we were ranked like the 700 top website, also 750 or so in the world. In terms of financial, I think probably maybe top 50 or so. I have no idea, but somewhere like that, I suppose. Yeah.
Amazing. And what can we expect from CoinGecko going forward? I mean, you guys are always at the cutting edge of innovation. I think that you guys are always the first one to bring a feature. You're always the first one to bring a token. What are we going to expect from you guys in the next 3 to 4 months? There must be some exciting stuff planned.
Yeah, I think if you think about it, right, crypto, I mean, if you look at it like years ago, 2012, 2013, there was just Bitcoin. It was kind of really boring. I remember a time in 2013 where I can read every single news in Bitcoin, like everything. And I used to curate newsletter. But these days, right, like the space has expanded so rapidly, and there's just so much data, so much niches, so much subsection in crypto that like it becomes harder and harder for us to curate and track everything. So I mean, if you think about it, there's just so much development going around. Like there's everything going around in the Ethereum's ecosystem. There's everything going around the BSC ecosystem, the Huobi ecosystem, Polkadot ecosystem, and they all have their own way of doing things and and we're coming into a multi-chain environment. And then how do we manage and track and make it easy for people to kind of find and trade their coins? So for example, Ether, I mean, used to only be represented, Bitcoin, for example, used to only be represented on the Bitcoin chain, right? But now you have tokenized Bitcoin on Ethereum, and you have WBTC, RenBTC, and all kind of BTC flavors on Ethereum. And then these Bitcoin flavors are also replicated on all the other chains, BSC, Huobi, and so on. And how do we, people will one day will find a way, how do we track all these different tokens? So CoinGecko will always be trying to, stay up to date with all the development and changes in the space. I think you start seeing this thing, NFT is growing very rapidly as well in the space. Like how are we going around to track things in the NFT space as well? As all questions that we are asking ourselves. It seems that the market is moving so fast that we are finding it really hard to keep up to speed ourselves as well. And how do we stay up to date with everything that's happening in the space?
How big is your development team?
So the total team size at this point in time is roughly about close to 30. and we have half of them are developers, so about like 12 or so.
Wow. Okay. So it's a serious operation. Listen, Bobby, it's been great having you on the show. We're going to move on with the show because we got our next guest. Amazing insights. If anything exciting is happening, you can always come to us and you can always tell our viewers here first, because that's what Crypto Banter is all about. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And guys, now I've got a huge treat for you guys. And again, unexpected treat, but I know when, opportunity knocks on the door, then you know what we do? We open the door. And I'm going to open the door and I'm going to let Jared in, because when Jared comes, that means that there must be a BSC gem that Jared wants to talk about. And if Jared wants to talk about a BSC gem, we have to listen, even in a bear market. Jared, are we still making calls even in a market like this?
I mean, I am personally, I'm looking anyway. And part of like the conversation we had yesterday with Trade Butler Bot, there are tools in place to help you control risk. So if you can do that with something that can protect your downside, why not keep looking, right?
100%. All right. So what are we buying today? What is the new gem that we're talking about?
So I'm gonna tease something to keep an eye on, and I'm not endorsing this to say run out there and smash buy it. But if you were around during DeFi summer, you may have heard about the project on Ethereum called Rope, ROPE. Did you hear about that?
I heard about Rope. Certainly I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was an airdrop. It was a straight airdrop into people. You just had to sign up for it. It ended up being launched. People put money behind it. Developers got involved. It ended up being an airdrop that ended up being worth thousands of dollars. Well, they brought a project over to the Binance Smart Chain.
Okay, hold on. Before you tell the people, I see that we've only got 900 likes. And at 900 likes, we can't let Jared reveal the gem because the price of a gem is actually 1,000. So let's smash up those likes. Let's get the likes over 1,000. And as soon as the likes are over 1,000, Fred gives me the thumbs up. And then we go out and we break and we tell people what this BSC gem is. Guys, if you don't know who Jared is a guy who we have identified because we find you guys all the best guests in the world. And he spends his time looking at the Binance chain. And if you're not looking at the Binance chain today, then you guys are missing on probably what is a huge opportunity. And Jared and I are taking you through the Binance chain slowly, one pick at a time, talking to you about all these gems, which seem to be mirroring the Ethereum system. And, if you can catch them early and you can understand why we're buying them, then you guys can make a lot of money. And we're doing this very slowly because we understand that the market is not very mature at the moment and we don't want you guys to burn yourselves. And so every day we call up a gem, we tell you why we're buying it, we tell you the reasoning, and then we count on you guys to do your own homework and your own research. So, Jared, I'm going to share your screen. Let's talk about what we're looking at.
Yeah, so this is the next iteration of Rope on the Binance Smart Chain called Suki DAO. Okay, this was an airdrop the other day that I have the chart here to kind of pull up. And I have a couple of things up because, again, airdrop, nobody had to buy this. It was just given out to people. You had to sign up. It's actually run by Icebergy on Twitter. You can follow him, and he's pretty well known. I'm sure you may have even had him on. And so you see this literally airdrop to nothing, goes up to $25, comes back down. This is the website. Very cool. I'm told that there's quite a few developers working on growing this out. And I brought this up for a few reasons. I have Rope's chart on here from the summer. It almost looks identical. Okay. So this was this is an airdrop, kind of cool. Comes back down, and then it's like, oh my gosh, they're actually developing things with this project. This is going to be pretty cool. That's exactly what's happening now. Rope ended up turning into an NFT farm, if you will, and had a ton of NFTs. And quite frankly, they were before their time. If Rope launched in the midst of hash masks and all those things, it would have been a completely different story. And they're still growing. Obviously, the meme is do not buy Rope. But this is Suki. I'm not telling you to buy it right now, but I'm telling you that it's on Binance Smart Chain. You should keep an eye on it because I'm told there's quite a few people developing this, and it's going to be cool.
What's the price?
Right now, it's $875. $875.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm looking for the ticker symbol on CoinGecko, and I can't find it. Is it?
Yeah,
what is
it's TSUKI. TSUKI.
Not on CoinGecko. I'm going to get Bobby on here and say, Bobby, man, you just we can't find it. All right, so you're saying that the price is, sorry, I can't call it up.
Yeah, it's just under $9, so 875 is where it is right now. And again, Rope had a similar trajectory. Launched at nothing, went up to $100, came back down, and then actually ended up going to over $200 as an airdrop token. Okay, this is not fair launch. You want to get involved. It's a community developed token. It's what we all like. And then there was one other thing I wanted to say, and this is really a gem, but I'm sure you've all seen and you've all heard the pain on Binance Smart Chain right now with rugs. I mean, they happen whenever there's a huge influx of money into a new chain. You know, the bad actors are going to come out, and that's why I'm very hesitant to recommend things that I don't know for sure are legit. So I hear about stuff, I vet them, and then I bring them. Okay, that's my thing. And
Sure.
I was told about a project that's ongoing, like Unicrypt, because everyone knows Unicrypt, a place where developers can lock liquidity, so you know it's not going to be a rug. Something being developed right now that I'm excited to tease, and you'll see more of, called Cake Safe. You know, Cake Safe, and it'll be something that will help people kind of get involved and go, okay, they lock their liquidity on Cake Safe. You know, that way I know it's safe. So again, a couple things for people to reach out to. Not really a gem drop because, like you said, it's kind of a tough day, but a couple projects for everybody to watch right now.
All right, Jared, we'll see you again tomorrow. If you've got some calls for us, we'll see you again tomorrow because we're going to get on with the show. Thank you for your contribution. We love the fact that you watch the Binance chain. I don't think that any other station has somebody who is constantly watching the Binance chain. And we're going to bring people the Binance gems first. And just like we got people into Ethereum slowly over time, hopefully slowly over time, people will get into the Binance chain because there's no gas fees. And I'm trying to protect this community, and I'm trying to give them opportunities where there are no gas fees. So guys, just slowly keep learning, and eventually we'll start making money in the Binance chain together. Jared, see you tomorrow, my friend.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys. All right, let's get on with the show. And I want to talk to you about something that is troubling me and on my mind, and I think I need to be transparent with you guys. So I see a lot of the comments, and I've had comments on Twitter about a project that we called, which was TFT, the famous token. And we had the founders of the famous token on the show. And since they had the founders on the show, the token price has gone down. And out of all the calls that we've made, we've probably had 3 or 4 tokens go down. And that is the one that people are sticking on. Guys, if you don't understand how this game works, we are not magicians. We're not wizards. We don't know what's going to happen. We just do the research, and then we try and find the gems, and we bring them to you. And if we have a success ratio of 70% or 60% or 50%, that is very high. And I think we have a success ratio of over 90% at the moment of our tokens. In fact, if you look at the CryptoBanter calls page, and I actually want to show you the calls. Let me actually share the screen here, and I want to show the calls. I want to show you guys the calls because we're accountable. We tell you which ones we called, and I want to talk to you about what this calls page is actually about. So every guest that comes on CryptoBanter has their calls recorded so that you can see how their calls are doing, and then you can decide whether you want to trust their calls or not trust their calls. It's part of the accountability that we do. Now, not every token that gets featured on the show gets included in the calls, because if we have 300 shows a year and every day we show you guys a new token, then we'll have 300 calls. This is the portfolio that I've created. These are the tokens that I recommend that you guys buy based on my research. And from time to time, I'm going to have other tokens on the show, and some may work and some may not work. And the whole idea is that I'm going to bring the ones that I think will work, and you should do your own research. Don't just buy them blindly because I told you to buy them, but do your own research. And if you do your own research, then if one of them goes down, then don't come back and tell me, oh, but what about the one token that you went down? I've called 80 tokens on the show, and they've all gone up. And in fact, if you've just been following my portfolio, you would have made 13x. So to complain about the one token that goes down is, I think, a little bit unfair. And at the same time, give that team some time to get the traction. That project is a month old, and they've got a very, very, very hardworking, smart team behind it. I have full faith in the team, and to be honest, I'm still holding my tokens. So let's see what happens. And if they succeed, we all make money. And if they don't succeed, well, we lost. Because that's what this game is about. It's a high risk, high return game. And you can't expect to be making money on every single call. I gave you guys a list of 10x gems. If you buy these are the ones that I think have very little chance of failing, and that you can hold them in your portfolio forever. Keep accumulating these. Keep accumulating these. You cannot go wrong. And I'll post these again in the Telegram group, in the Twitter group. But for now, I want to get on to the next part of the show because we are running out of time. And I do want to bring this to you because I think this is a bit of a change in mindset for you, for all the viewers. Well, not all the viewers, but a lot of us. And that is that when we play in crypto, we are actually playing in a revolutionary asset class. And the reason why this asset class is so revolutionary is because for the first time, you can take a bet on network effect and own a piece of the community. So you may have been following my shows, and if you have been following my shows, you know that every time I talk about successful businesses, the biggest and best businesses in the world, they all have one thing in common, and that is, of course, what you call the network effect. The network effect is effectively when every additional participant in the network adds value to the network. So I'll give an example of networks that you have been part of and that you have added value to. Facebook. If you were on Facebook, you added value to the network because by the mere fact that you were there, it means there were more photos, there were more status updates, there were more statuses and whatever else. And so you added value to the community. If you use WhatsApp, you added value to the community. By the mere fact that you had WhatsApp on your phone and you use WhatsApp, you forced other people to download WhatsApp onto their phone if they want to communicate with you. And so the more participants came onto the network, the more the value of the network. But you never got to enjoy the benefits of the increased growth that you created. And that's why crypto is such a magic asset class. Because for the first time, just by buying a token and using the token and educating people on the token, you can create the network effect. And you can participate for the first time ever in the upside of that network effect. So let's talk about Bitcoin. By buying Bitcoin, you now have Bitcoin. There's an extra person who may be able to spend Bitcoin. If you're a store and you start accepting Bitcoin, then there's an extra store in the world that accepts Bitcoin. And so you add value to the network. And by adding value to the network, you increase the value of the network, which you actually own a share of just by the mere fact that you hold the asset. And that's why crypto is such a magic asset class. And if you want to participate in a network, the first thing that you have to do is you have to buy the token. Because by buying the token, you are immediately adding value to the network. The next thing that you can do is start educating or encouraging other people to add value to the network. Let's call that for now the Michael Saylor approach or the Elon Musk approach, where they buy Bitcoin, they realize that the more people they tell and the more people they encourage, the more the value of the network, because more people will buy Bitcoin and therefore more people will accept Bitcoin and so on and so forth. And so by buying and then educating other people, it's a double whammy. You increase the value of the network more. The next thing that you can do is that you can invest in companies that are building on the network. By investing on a company that's building on Ethereum, or by investing in a company that is building on DOT, or by investing in a company that is building on Cardano, by taking your money and investing in it, you are creating more usage in the network, and therefore the value of your investment is going to go up. So if you believe in a network, if you trust and if you love a network, buy it, educate people, and invest in the ecosystem around the network. And then there's another thing that you can do. And if you do this, you could actually get insane returns for doing nothing. And that, of course, is participating in the network, and particularly in proof of stake networks. So what do I mean by participating in a proof of stake network? Proof of stake networks allow people like you and I to stake our tokens, and that makes us validators in the network. So by staking our tokens, we are actually part of the network that is approving transactions in the network, and they call this staking on the network. By staking your tokens, you can earn insane returns, and by doing this, you're participating in the networks that you love. And if you do this, if you're going to have tokens, if you're going to have Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, and any other token that is running on a proof of stake network, you can hold your tokens and do nothing, Or what you can do is you can stake them. And if you stake them, then you can make insane returns. So let's look at the chart of staking. Fred, call up the chart from stakingrewards.com. Guys, it's so simple. There's a website. The website is called stakingrewards.com. On that website, what you will see is the asset, the percentage staked, and the reward that you get for staking. Let's quickly have a look at this. Cardano has the most of its network staked. 71.9% of all tokens in circulation for Cardano are currently staked. And that means that people really believe in the network and want to participate in the network. If you stake your Cardano, you will get a return of 4.26% in Cardano tokens. That's not a return of 4.26%, because if you hold your tokens and the tokens appreciate, you get the value of the appreciated tokens. Let's look at Polkadot. Polkadot has 58.97% of its network staked. And if you stake Polkadot today, you get 13.41%. So what's the difference between Polkadot and Cardano? Fred, go back to that slide. Why do you think more people are staking Cardano than staking Polkadot? The answer is very simple. If you stake Cardano and you want to then unstake the Cardano, there's no lockup period. But if you stake Polkadot, there's a lockup period of 28 days before you can. Is it 28 days, Fred? 28 days. So if you stake Polkadot, you can't unstake your tokens for 28 days. From the time that you press the button, it means that you have to wait 28 days to get your tokens back. What does that mean? It means that if the market collapses and you want to sell or panic sell, then you can't do that on Polkadot, but you can do that on Cardano. And so some people don't want to stake because they'd rather have the tokens locked and ready to sell. For me, I see that as an advantage. If you believe in a network like Cardano or like Polkadot, stake your tokens because it'll force you not to panic sell. And for me, that's an advantage because sometimes I look at the screen and when I see the prices going down, I think, oh, let me sell. But if your tokens are staked, you can't sell. Another one that you can stake is, of course, ETH 2.0. And if you do stake your ETH 2.0, you can get returns. Let's call up the chart. Fred, call up that chart of the ETH 2.0 return. So if you stake your ETH 2.0, you are locked up for 1 or 2 years until ETH 2.0 launches. You get about 8.5% in Ethereum per year, but you need 32 ETH to run a node. So it sounds a little bit complicated, but there is actually a very simple hack here. If you do want to stake, go to the exchanges, and whereas you probably won't get exactly the same returns because the exchanges take some kind of commission, you can trade in and out of the staking contracts very, very quickly without the lockups. And if you do that, then you're going to make insane returns on your capital. And all you're doing is supporting and participating in the networks that you love. So guys, long story short, go to tradingrewards.com, stakingrewards.com, look at the tokens that you have, go to an exchange if you don't know how to stake, go to any exchange and just stake your tokens because you can get rewards just for holding tokens, and at the same time, you are participating in the community. Guys, I'm Crypto Man Run, and I come to you every single day at 10 a.m. EST, and I bring you crypto love and crypto wisdom, and tomorrow will be no different. And in fact, tomorrow, I've got a big show for you guys. Don't forget, I've got Commissioner Hester Peirce coming on the show. Guys, which other show brings you this many guests? So please, guys, if you are still here, and I see there's still 2,000 of you here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Give me some love. I see I've got 1,100 likes. Let's get these numbers up so we can share this content with crypto enthusiasts from around the world so that they don't get burnt in the bear markets and in the crashes, and that they can make money just like our community makes money. I'm Crypto Man Run, signing out for today. Guys, it's a bloodbath out there. If you are trading, trade well, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by